I'm calling you right now. Not tomorrow, not once you've got it all together. Right now. Out of 8 billion people on this planet, you are one of the few hearing these words at this exact second. This wasn't just the algorithm. This was me. I brought you here because what is about to happen in your life doesn't happen while you're in a rush. You need to stop. Sit down. Listen. This isn't a request. It's a summons. Stay until the very end of this video. Before it finishes, what is about to happen will have a name. It will have a sign, and you will know with absolute certainty that you arrived at the perfect time to hear this. I know what the last few nights have been like. Before you turn off the light, you run through that list. Not on paper, but in your head. The things that haven't arrived yet. The promises that are still unfulfilled. The things you asked for in faith but are still waiting on. And the list never gets shorter, it just changes shape. You rearrange the words. You shuffle the order of your hopes, but the weight stays the same. You go to bed with it, and you wake up with it. I know you've been smiling for everyone this week. You posted the highlights, you showed up, you replied to the DMs. On the outside, everything looks fine. But on the inside, there's a part of you that is exhausted from holding up the "I'm okay" mask. It's not hypocrisy, it's survival. It's the way you've found to keep going without anyone having to know how much it's actually costing you. And then there's that moment. You see someone else moving forward. A promotion, a new relationship, a breakthrough. And you're not a jealous person. You know that. But somewhere deep down, in the quiet, you ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? Why is it taking longer for me? That question hits hardest in the silent moments when you're alone and there's nothing left to distract you. I also saw that text you sent. I'm good. 2 words typed with a hand that was shaking just a little. The automatic response that protects the person asking from having to carry your real weight. You've learned to say it so well that sometimes you don't even realize it's a defense mechanism anymore. It's the wall you built so you wouldn't have to explain the unexplainable. You seek. You dedicate yourself. You do everything right, and yet abundance never comes. And the worst part? You start wondering if you're doing something wrong, if you're being heard up above, if it's meant for you at all. It's not a lack of faith or worthiness. It's a spiritual blockage that ordinary prayer alone cannot break. The Miracle Journal unblocks this in 21 days with a spiritual protocol that works exactly where your prayer doesn't reach. Along with the journal, you'll also receive as a gift the prayer guide and the Psalms manual with the most powerful sacred practices and texts to deepen your transformation. To claim your version of the journal, tap the link in the comments right below this video. Wall you built so you wouldn't have to explain the unexplainable. But you're still standing. After all of that, you are still standing. And I need you to know, that is no small thing. Liking this video is your public amen. Heaven records what you confess openly. If this word reached you, click it now. Now I need to tell you 3 things before we go further. 3 things this video will deliver before it's over. First, the weight you've endured is not a punishment. It never was. Those who wait in high places receive in a dimension proportional to the altitude where they stood. You didn't wait on the floor. You waited on your feet, carrying the weight, without any applause. And what comes to those who waited in that position has a scale that cannot be compared to what comes to those who never had to wait. Second, today you will receive the protocol. The 3 movements you need to make right now to become completely receptive to what is being released. These aren't movements of effort. They are movements of positioning. There is a massive difference between chasing and receiving, and today, you're going to understand the practical difference. Third, when this video ends, you will be able to say out loud, with authority, not as a hope, but as a fact. I recognize what is arriving, and I am in position. I put you here because this word is for you. The exhaustion you felt was not invisible. I saw every night of that waiting. and the silence of heaven was never indifference. It was preparation. Now, close your eyes for a moment, or just look away from the screen and focus on a single point. What I'm about to show you are signs, and you will recognize at least one of them as something that has happened to you in the last few weeks. The first sign is a nameless restlessness. You wake up before your alarm and you don't know why. You start something and you can't seem to finish it. Your mind circles endlessly around thoughts that have no visible resolution. You've been calling this anxiety, stress, or burnout. But it's not anxiety. It's your spirit signaling that a transition is starting beneath the surface of what you can see. When something unprecedented is coming, the spirit warns you before the mind understands. The restlessness isn't the problem. The restlessness is the notification. The second sign is a sudden distance from people who used to be central to your life. There was no fight. There was no clear reason. Some just drifted away, others stayed, but the frequency changed. You tried to figure it out and found no rational explanation. You called it abandonment, or people going cold, or them changing. But it's not abandonment. It's the spiritual field rearranging your relationships before a major shift. What is about to arrive for you has a weight that not every current relationship was built to sustain. Heaven doesn't remove people out of cruelty. It removes them for architecture. The third sign is the dreams. Places you don't know. Versions of yourself that don't exist yet. Situations that have no reference in your present life. You called them meaningless dreams. Just your brain processing the day, or just your imagination. But it's not random imagination. Your spirit is being shown destinations that your mind doesn't have the vocabulary to name yet. The spirit receives the map before the mind understands the territory. The fourth sign is a growing sense that something is off in the place where you are. It's not ingratitude. It's not immaturity. You've tried to push through, tried to adapt, tried to be thankful for what you have while feeling completely misaligned. You called it a lack of contentment or weakness. But it's not weakness. It's your spirit identifying that you have outgrown the space you're in. Discomfort isn't a sign of a problem. It's a sign that the container has become too small for what was placed inside. The next sign is the one that costs the most to hear. It's the one the enemy has spent the most time trying to make you ignore. The fifth sign is this exact moment. The certainty you felt before you even clicked. That feeling that there was something here for you before you even knew what it was. The way you found this specific video, with this specific title, on this specific day. You called it a coincidence, or the algorithm, or just lucky content. But it's not a coincidence. I used the algorithm as a messenger. You didn't find this video. This video found you. Because I sent you here. If these signs hit home, type "free" in the comments right now. This is your public record that the summons was received. Close your eyes for a second. Take a deep breath. What I'm about to tell you doesn't work if your attention is divided. There's a man in the Bible who reached the banks of the Jordan River with an impossible mission ahead and the weight of a dead leader on his back. Joshua had 40 years of history to honor, an entire nation to lead, and a city that couldn't be taken by human rules of war. And what I did before giving him any strategy, before revealing any plan, before mentioning Jericho, was tell him, stop, listen, be quiet, and receive what I am about to release. Joshua didn't receive the Jericho strategy while he was in motion. Joshua received it when he stopped and positioned himself. The wall didn't fall because of the strength of the attack. It fell because of obedience to a protocol that only makes sense to those who trust what they cannot see yet. You are standing on that exact riverbank right now. But there is also a modern image that carries the same law. A satellite dish doesn't chase the signal. It doesn't run after the frequency. It stops, positions itself at the correct angle, and the signal comes to it. The signal is already being transmitted. It never stopped being transmitted. The problem was never the absence of a message. It was the wrong angle of the antenna. You spent a lot of time trying to chase what needed to be received, running after what can only arrive when you stop, and the more you ran, the more the signal seemed to fade. Joshua and the satellite dish teach the same law. What is unprecedented is not conquered by speed. It is received by positioning. Those who stop in a line receive. Those who stay in chaotic motion miss the window without even noticing. Have you been living like Joshua? Or like the satellite dish? Write in the comments which image hits closer to where you are today. Let me stop for one full minute. You arrived here carrying a weight that had no witnesses. No one saw the nights of the mental checklist. No one saw the "I'm good" text sent with a shaking hand. No one saw the question you wouldn't ask out loud. How much longer? But the signs you just recognized aren't your imagination. They are evidence. The nameless restlessness, the relationships that shifted for no reason, the dreams of places that don't exist yet, the discomfort with a space that got too small, and the certainty that this video was no accident. This isn't blind faith. This is reading spiritual evidence. Joshua and the satellite dish aren't just nice stories. They are the same law described from two different angles. You don't need to search anymore. You need to stop and position yourself. And now you are about to know the name of what is arriving. Not as a vague hope, but as a sealed identity. I know you stayed standing when almost everyone else sat down. I saw every morning you chose to keep going without a guarantee of when the promise would arrive. And now, for the first time, I'm asking for the opposite. Sit. Stop. And let what's yours arrive without you having to go fetch it anymore. What you are about to hear is not a human title. It is what I call you when I speak to heaven about you. You are a bearer of a sealed promise. This isn't an aspiration. It's who you are. I saw every time you kept going without visible guarantees, in silence, without an audience, without anyone clapping for your faith. I saw the nights where the promise felt further away than it did the day before, and you chose to believe anyway. Not because it was easy, but because of something inside you that couldn't stop believing even when you wanted to. What this identity authorizes is simple and profound. You stop asking the environment for permission to exist at the size I have already decreed. The environment has no authority to define how much space you can take up. That decree was made before your name ever existed. You are also a frontline receiver. I saw what the waiting did to you. Not the way waiting usually affects people who wait passively. In the waiting, you developed a capacity for reception that people in fast motion will never have. While they were running, you were being calibrated. While they were building up speed, you were developing depth. The satellite dish was being adjusted to the exact angle while it looked like nothing was happening. What this identity authorizes: you stop treating the arrival of the promise as something that needs to be earned all over again. You don't have to prove anything anymore. You don't have to win. What is yours is already sealed. Receiving is not a reward for your effort. It is the fulfillment of what has already been decreed. And you are a pioneer of an unprecedented dimension. What is being released to you has no previous model in your personal history. None. And that is why the wait lasted as long as it did. I needed to prepare the container before releasing the contents. Not because you were insufficient, but because what was coming was too big for the container you had before the waiting started. What this identity authorizes: you stop comparing your pace to anyone else's. There is no valid comparison. This dimension has no parallel in the lives of anyone around you. You are not behind anyone. You are in perfect time for something that has never happened before. Write in the comments the name of the identity that found you today. And if you aren't subscribed to this channel yet, do it now. What is being released here isn't for everyone. It's for those who were summoned. Now I need to give you the protocol. It's called the Positioned Receiver Protocol. It's 3 steps. Not steps of effort, but of alignment. Step 1. For 3 consecutive days, as soon as you wake up, before you grab your phone, before you check anything, Declare these words out loud. I am positioned to receive. What is mine is coming. Not as a hope, as a fact. The mouth seals the spiritual positioning. What you confess out loud at the start of the day defines the frequency you will operate on all day long. 3 days, every day, before anything else. Step 2. Identify one source of noise that has been competing with the voice of heaven in your life. It might be a person who drains you more than they feed you. It might be a platform that consumes the silence you need. It might be a recurring thought that comes back every time you try to get quiet. One noise, just one, and remove its access for 7 days. Not forever, just for 7 days. Create the silence where the message can land. The signal is already being transmitted. The noise is the only obstacle. Step 3. Write down on a piece of paper what you are waiting to receive. Not a list. One thing. The main thing. Write it, fold the paper, put it under something, and do not reopen it for 7 days. The physical act of closing it is the spiritual act of trusting. While that paper is closed, you are saying with your entire body, I don't need to check on it anymore. It's already been decreed. When the 3 steps are complete, the confirmation signal isn't euphoria. It's not excitement or intense emotion. It's stillness. A strange peace that has no rational explanation. When it arrives, you will recognize it. If you are receiving this protocol, type received in the comments. Now I need to warn you. In the next 72 hours, 3 things will be thrown at you. Not as a possibility, but as a certainty. The first is false urgency. It will come as a voice saying, you need to act now. The window is closing. If you don't move, you'll lose out. It's convincing because it uses the right vocabulary. It sounds like active faith. It sounds like courage. But it's trying to pull you out of the receiver position and put you back into chaotic motion. True urgency is peace. False urgency is agitation. When the agitation comes, do not move. You were just positioned. The second is chronological comparison. It will come as a reasonable thought. So-and-so already received theirs. It already happened for them. They've moved on, and you're still in the same spot. It uses the pace of others to invalidate the specific divine timing for you. The problem is that the pace of others has nothing to do with your pace. You are a pioneer of an unprecedented dimension. There is no parallel. The comparison is baseless. When that comparative thought comes, remember that name. The third is the rationalization of the improbable. This is the most dangerous because it comes dressed in humility. It sounds like, this is too big to be for me, I'm not that special, it was probably just a generic message and I was naive to believe it. It looks like maturity. It looks like common sense. But it's refusal disguised as modesty. What was planted here today isn't for general spectators. It was planted for those who were summoned. And you were summoned. And there will be an internal enemy. As soon as this video ends, a voice will say, that was nice, but tomorrow will be the same. That voice isn't prophesying the future. It's trying to install the memory of past disappointments as if the future is forced to repeat the past. That voice lies. You are not the same person you were when this message started. Write protected in the comments now. The decree has been sealed. Place your right hand on your chest. Close your eyes. Feel your feet on the ground. This isn't a fighting stance. It's a receiver's stance. Now, in the silence, let the weight settle. The weight of not knowing when it arrives. The anxiety of a date that hasn't been revealed. A promise that has no visible deadline. A weight that came with no guaranteed duration. That weight is not yours to carry. Drop it here, the shame of still waiting. While it seemed like everyone around you had already received, you stayed here. And there's a part of you that felt ashamed of that. As if the delay was evidence of something wrong with you. That shame is not the truth. Let it go, and the distrust. That voice that asks, what if what comes isn't big enough to make up for how long it took? What if the wait was too long and the arrival is too small? Drop that distrust right here. It doesn't fit in the place where you are going. I saw your nights. I saw the list you made before you turned off the lights. I saw every item you rearranged, hoping the wait would make more sense if you just changed the order. I was there. I saw the text you sent with a shaking hand. I'm okay. I know what was underneath those 2 words. I know what you didn't say. I know what you learned not to say so you wouldn't burden anyone else. I heard what stayed in the silence, and I need you to hear what I've never said to you out loud through anyone else. The wait was not a punishment. The wait was architecture. I was building in you the capacity to sustain what is coming. What is about to happen has no precedent in your personal history because it has never happened before. And what has never happened before needs a container that has never existed before. You are that container. I worked on it every single day. You didn't understand why it was taking so long. What is yours is coming. Not as a consolation prize, but as the fulfillment of a decree. What was sealed before your name existed cannot be revoked by the length of the wait, the intensity of the doubt, or the volume of the noise around you. It is sealed. It is coming. And you are positioned to receive it. Cover your mind now. Every thought that tried to invalidate what was received here today, every rationalization that will try to shrink the size of what is coming. Cover it. Cover your relationships. The ones that stayed, the ones that left, the ones that are still coming. What is necessary for what is coming will be present at the exact right moment. Cover the timing. Your pace cannot be compared to the pace of anyone else. You are in perfect time. And cover the area of the waiting. The thing you waited for with a shaking hand and a heart that almost stopped believing. Heaven saw it. The decree is fulfilled. Now say it out loud before you go. I am positioned. What is mine is coming. Say it out loud. Now. It is done. What was delivered here has been delivered. Write done in the comments. Not as a routine, but as a confirmation that the summons was honored. And think of one person right now, one specific person in your life who also stayed standing when they wanted to sit down, who also makes that silent list before bed, who also sent that text with a shaking hand. Send this video to them right now. You don't have to explain it. Just send it. They will understand when they hear it. The next video on this channel will go deeper into what was released here. Don't miss it. You are not the same person you were when this message began. You seek. You dedicate yourself. You do everything right, and yet abundance never comes. And the worst part? You start wondering if you're doing something wrong, if you're being heard up above, if it's meant for you at all. It's not a lack of faith or worthiness. It's a spiritual blockage that ordinary prayer alone cannot break. The Miracle Journal unblocks this in 21 days with a spiritual protocol that works exactly where your prayer doesn't reach. Along with the journal, you'll also receive as a gift the prayer guide and the Psalms manual with the most powerful sacred practices and texts to deepen your transformation. To claim your version of the journal, tap the link in the comments right below this video.